Hello and welcome to the North Bank podcast, our penultimate Premier League preview podcast of the season. So where are we? Top of the league. 2 games to go. Win both games, we are champions. Doesn't matter. City can win their 2 games by an aggregate 54-0. It doesn't matter. Win our 2 games and we're champions. So that's where we are. I'm your host, Holly, and I'm joined by Stef. Chris will be jumping in at some point, but Stef, how are you feeling?
All right. I think because we're playing on the Monday, it hasn't quite settled in yet, the nerves of it, and just been distracted with other stuff. But, when you put it like that, it's a nice position to be in, isn't it?
I would rather be in our position than any other team's position right now, Yeah. And if I'd rather have our two games than City's 2 games. But anyway, I forgot myself for a minute. I have got some questions, as ever, some questions to get the listeners and the viewers thinking, as well as yourself. So, the order I've written them down. Is football more about big VAR moments than actual big football / goal moments? So contextually, we've had that, but also the Bernardo Silva revelation today that all 5 of the panel said that should have been a penalty. I'm waiting for the absolute outcry over an actual incorrect VAR decision compared to the outcry for a correct VAR. Anyway, never mind. Question number 2. Who plays in our midfield 3? Bit more specific to the next 2 games. Question 3. All right. I haven't done a quiz for a while, and I just had a little check. But can you name the 3 players who have represented both Burnley and Arsenal in the Premier League? Now, you will not name 2 of them, but the reason I'm asking the question is because of the 3rd one. So don't offer any suggestions now.
Right.
Because I did not know. Okay. I didn't remember. Maybe I did know at one point. I don't know. But anyway. And my final question is this one. What fresh hell drama do you think awaits us in the final 2 games? And I want you to put forward some suggestions for what that fresh hell / drama might possibly look like.
Okay.
There you go. Isn't that nice of me?
Great.
Well, I just think, look at what we've been through. This seems to be a season to me that has been littered with far more torturous moments than... Didn't we win up at Newcastle with the Gabriel header in the...
Injury time. Very late in injury time.
Having been 1-0 down with like 7 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah. Marino got the first.
Chris even referenced the Sunderland away game where we conceded a 94th, 5th minute equaliser. It was Dan Ballard got the first goal. I can't remember. Brobby, I think it was, down the other end. So we've had a litany of, I don't know, edge of your seat, heart in mouth, high blood pressure, or high octane moments. So I just wonder what awaits over these last 2 games. But I know tonight, we're recording this on Friday evening. It's just still half time in the Villa-Liverpool game. So I've mapped out a series of results over this weekend leading into Monday and Tuesday. And I reference Tuesday because City travelled to Bournemouth on Tuesday. So it's relevant. It's all part of this little sequence of games. Now, the first game that I want to go Arsenal's way is tonight, the Villa-Liverpool game. The one result I don't want to happen is a Villa win, which is obviously what's happening at the moment at half-time. If they draw, or preferably if Liverpool win, then Bournemouth and to a lesser degree Brentford, but Bournemouth, for Bournemouth's next game, are really incentivised because they can close within a point of Villa going into the last set of games where Villa travel to City. And I'm just terrified that Villa will roll over for City completely. Emery would love nothing more than to, having already won the Europa League, perhaps prevent Arsenal from winning the Premier League for whatever reason. But anyway, I then obviously want, I think Brighton, I wrote it down, Brighton host United in the final game. So Brighton Brighton are away to Leeds on Sunday. Want Brighton to win that game, just to put the pressure on Villa for Villa's final game. Provided Villa, if Villa win today, it doesn't matter. I think if Villa draw today, it doesn't matter about Brighton as well. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but Bournemouth will still be in the equation if Villa draw, but not if they win. I think, mind you, Liverpool then come into the equation, so Bournemouth are still incentivised against Man City. I also want Chelsea. No, I don't want. That's the wrong way around. I want City to lose the cup final on Saturday, just to knock the stuffing out of them a little bit. I don't want Chelsea to win the FA Cup, but a byproduct of City losing the FA Cup final is Chelsea winning it. So fine, I can compartmentalise that. And then it's us on. We are one goal. Forget about goals scored now. Man City are 7 ahead of us. We're not catching them on goals scored. But goal difference, we are currently 1 behind them. So I want to see a +6.
Yeah.
On the Monday. So +5 overall. So that if City beat Bournemouth, and if they beat them, I'll give them a goal victory maybe. I don't want any more than that. If they have to win, although this is the game when we had the 5-game shoot off. This is the game I'd earmarked. Bournemouth away, straight up 3 days after the FA Cup final. I thought with Bournemouth like a 10-day rest, and Bournemouth incentivised as well. Name the last team to beat Bournemouth at their grounds.
Us?
Yes.
Yep. 3-2.
3-2, yeah. So you never know. Anyway, am I wasting a lot of decent energy in this?
No, we're all doing it in some form or another. You might be doing it to a slightly greater extent, having actually written things down.
I have.
Yeah. So
permutations.
It is what it is. Look, we're all thinking that, but at the end of the day, like you say, we win our games. Nothing else matters.
Do you think we will?
Ask me at different times. We bloody should do. But that's not the same as do I think we will.
Context comes into play. I mean, I do think City beating Brentford 3-0 kind of sharpens the mind again for us on Monday.
Palace. They beat Palace.
Palace 3-0. Yeah. And I think that, it does focus the mind a little bit more. It has to. It's a reminder, City aren't going away. Yep. They are there. You slip up, we'll take advantage. And we should heed that message.
Absolutely.
But home to Burnley, which is what we're previewing now, surely, don't call me Shirley, but surely we can comfortably win that game. And then I find the stat that we failed to score in our last two of our previous 3 home games against Burnley. Great.
Yep. Great. One of them was a Sean Dyche 0-0, I think, going back when one of the times they yo-yoed back into the Premier League. So, maybe it's a different Burnley side.
Not quite a Michael Jackson Burnley. I don't know what that is. I don't know what kind of Burnley team that is. Okay, so not naming team selections or anything like that. Who do you think, based on what we've witnessed over the last few games and the West Ham game in particular, who do you think will get the nod in our midfield 3? I think that's the key area.
Fitness and form is going to come into it massively.
Well, okay, but with that in mind...
Yeah, well, Rice will feature in some form. It'll be interesting... It's funny, isn't it? Because we've given Arteta a lot of criticism about overusing players, and then he takes the gamble, not so much a gamble, but he does the rotation by bringing Miles Lewis-Skelly into the midfield, and it works really well against Fulham. But then he sticks with it for like 3 games, and in my head already I'm worrying, okay, can he do a 4th? We've had a week's break. It's slightly different. In fact, it's just over a week, isn't it, by the time Monday rolls around? So can he do that again? Zubimendi, we know he had a great first half of the season, chipped in with goals and assists, more than ever in his league career. But he has faded, and he's played more minutes, more games than he ever has in any of his previous seasons. So it would make sense that Lewis-Skelly is the fresher, and he's given us an impetus going forward, which is really good. Eze and Odegaard. Eze, okay, quiet last couple of games, but has been playing pretty well.
Part of that new momentum, that new renewed winning.
But then Odegaard comes on against West Ham and it was a real brilliant performance. Maybe, and I'm erring on the side of starting with Eze, Odegaard off the bench, if he reproduces something akin to that, although I hope he doesn't need to, then that could be a good thing to do. But yeah, I feel like he might have locked into Lewis Skelly and what he gives us, that dynamic going forward. And hopefully he's learnt about the substitutions should a player get injured and we need to shuffle around a bit, because it's about round pegs in round holes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but so he could play both of them. So he could play Rice, Odegaard and Eze.
He could.
Home to Burnley and Trossard, because if you start with Odegaard and you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly and Rice there, do you push Eze to the left or keep Trossard there?
That's a nice problem to have. Trossard's form has warranted that he stays there.
He was excellent in his last couple of games. He's been excellent.
Yeah, for a good few weeks now. So I'd be tempted to keep him. Would you try Eze on the right? I don't know.
Have you heard anything about Saka during the week?
No, nothing.
No. Arteta had his press conference yesterday, and there was nothing flagged up about Saka, which I assume is good news.
Yeah.
But I mean, Saka, which game? Fulham Saka starts, obviously. West Ham Saka does not start.
No,
he's more detrimental to our team performance. West Ham Saka is. Fulham Saka, different story.
It might make a difference, the fact that Calafiori is a doubt. So that will mean Nkapie probably comes in. Or does Lewis Skelly move to left back and then step into midfield? Don't know. Because
it's Bournemouth at home.
Burnley.
I said that. I've just got Bournemouth on my mind,
Yeah, I think you're overlooking it. You got our game first, Holly. Come on, one game at a time.
One game at a time. Come on, I've got this. Because it's Burnley at home. This second week. I mean, I say this and immediately I know what I'm about to say, and there's another little voice follows up straight away, just says Wolves.
Don't take them for granted.
I was going to say the second worst team in the division at home, but then I thought, well, we bloody well struggled against the worst team in the division, home and away, but home in particular, we're lucky to. I think was it 2 own goals.
Yeah, it was at home
to win, and then one of them in injury time. To win 2-1. Talking about fresh hell and
stressful
drama.
Games.
Keep forgetting about that one, and the away game there as well, and Brentford. Oh my god! So who are you going with in your midfield three on Saturday? On Monday, who do you think Arteta will actually plump for?
I wonder if his luck ran out a little bit by playing the same team again and again.
We started well.
We did start well.
It was the injury and the reaction to the substitution that kind of punctured that opening spell. I think we had 6 attempts on goal in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. I hit the woodwork once, possibly twice. I can't remember. It wasn't. I mean, looking at it, you're never. It's always that we'll rue these missed chances. But if you were looking at the game objectively as an impartial viewer, you'd be thinking it's only a matter of when Arsenal score, not if.
It felt like that.
And then the injury to Ben White, which should not have been enough to derail us in the way it did, but it was the reaction to that, the substitutions, which we've kind of gone into in depth previously. I'm not going to rehash over old ground there, but that wasn't one game too many selection, and we have had 8 days, as you say. But I don't know. What do you think he'll do?
I've gone with the same midfield, but I think there will be changes elsewhere. So as a Rice MLS.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the other one is who gets your nod at right back.
It's got to be Mosquera.
Yeah, but you say that, but then I've written down. These are the alternatives I've written down.
Oh, God.
I think there are 6. Saliba.
No.
Mosquera is a more natural centre back than right back.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I know. But This is how Arteta has got inside my head. Because I didn't think I'd be seeing Rice at right back either. Lewis Skelly and Nkapie or Calafiori, 3 full backs, just one of them drops over into their specialised position, but just on the other side. I didn't write down Norgard, but he's another possibility. Yeah. There was one other person. Oh no, Rice again.
No.
And he's like, he won't, will he?
Come on.
I know. I need to pull myself together. It's just terrible. So that was the other kind of dilemma. Oh, look, it has to be Mosquera, surely.
This is what happens when we don't have a midweek game. You've got no distraction.
Too much time.
Yeah. He's got too much time to think about the finish. That's it.
That's it. I'm still blaming Heinze for that decision. All right, okay. So there's your 3 players in midfield. There's your right back. Just going out of the Burnley game for a moment and back to VAR, and my first question was, is football becoming now more about the big VAR moment? Because look at the attention that got. A correct decision, I hasten to add. I mean, the absolute head loss and kind of maintained head loss over a number of days as well. Is the Premier League as a product pleased about this?
It shouldn't be, but then it is sort of what a lot of people are choosing to talk about. Because sometimes we would talk about unfair decisions here and there, but they would only really be known after the fact because of television replays. But now television replays are part of the experience, so they get poured over in a slightly different way. I think you also have to factor in, particularly with our incidents, is the narrative around us and corners and yada yada yada, which, whatever. But then around the football world this week, PGMOL said they got the Everton Bernardo Silva decision wrong, which was wrong,
which could have a far more material impact on the title.
Yeah, it could, absolutely. We also spoke earlier about an incident. I was talking with someone I know about the Celtic game. There was
that handball in the 97th minute.
Again, because the title's on the line and they're pouring over it. It's just scrutinised to another level. But I came away from the West Ham game, maybe because I was in the stadium.
Yeah.
And wasn't privy to the television coverage at the time. It was all about the Trossard goal and the Odegaard build-up and the way we'd figured out the problems we'd created for ourselves and then got back into it. So it was a different experience for me.
If you're talking about pure drama, then the VAR kerfuffle at the end outpeaks the Trossard goal.
I'm sure.
For anybody watching. I was just about to say, yes, Liverpool have equalised to find out that Aston Villa have gone 2-1 up.
Okay.
So, boo. I was just about to say, it's happening. No, because that Silva, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong with this, but that Silva challenge, which ironically he's come out obviously in an interview today that wasn't recorded today, it was recorded yesterday, saying that he's just fed up with the rugby tackling in the penalty box and mate, really? Yep. Good. Yep. Well timed. If that had been given as a penalty and Everton had scored, that was 4-2. That game was won at that point, right? Mm-hmm. If that had been the end score there, could we have won the league by beating Burnley on Monday? Or would it be 3 points?
Not sure.
Would it be they could level us some points if Palace had beaten us or something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so he's not quite stripped us of the opportunity of winning the league at the Emirates, but still, it was a terrible decision. Sorry, I jumped in there. You were chatting about.
No, I mean, I was just talking about, my view from the stands was maybe different because I was so elated by the play that the VAR decision only became bigger in my world after the fact when we were going away from the game and saw how everyone else was pouring over it. But again, the side narrative was about holding in the box, and yes, it was a foul on Raya, but what about those other ones? And match of the day, you got the ex-Lino in, and it became a story in and of itself. But it was massive, and so it kind of should be. I I don't mind VAR taking its time when there are huge stakes, because West Ham are fighting relegation. We're fighting for a title. I think it's okay if they stop and take stock and really scrutinise it in that moment, because it could have huge effects at both ends. So
I think that was the added context, was that it wasn't just an Arsenal title thing, it was a West Ham relegation thing. So that decision impacted 4 clubs.
Yeah.
Not quite, well, potentially quite emphatically or quite significantly, Spurs and City. Well, ironically, Spurs fans are like, they're like, what was there's a phrase, I can't remember it now, to describe the mental gymnastics that Spurs.
Well, it's cognitive dissonance, isn't it? They
Fans
want us to lose, but they need us to win. Yeah.
But how are they feeling in that moment?
Odd. Yeah.
I think I would imagine that it was probably a reasonable moment for a Spurs fan, because it was a win-win. They could rationalise either, this would be so funny if this costs Arsenal the thing, and a draw's not the worst result for us because we're going to go and beat Leeds tomorrow anyway. Just on that, Leeds, did you see the Leeds Spurs game?
Most of it, yeah.
Right, Maddison, penalty or not?
I think because it doesn't jump out of me as one. You go with the on-field decision.
Watching it though, were you? I mean, it was for me.
I thought it was a pen.
Yeah, nailed on penalty all day long.
I thought the ref would give it.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
And it's just, I mean, again, listen, I found that hilarious. However, as we always say on this pod, VAR, refereeing standards, it's not an Arsenal problem, it's a football problem. It's all our problem. That was a shocking, what's the word, cowardly decision. But refs just aren't giving decisions. I don't blame the ref for not giving the foul on Raya in the West Ham game. How could he possibly have seen that?
Oh yeah.
And so I've got no issue with him not giving that one. But that was, for me, you needed, I mean, it was the faintest of touches on the ball. And that doesn't mean it's not a penalty. Just because he got a faint touch on the ball doesn't mean, like, if I get a touch on the ball but go over the top of it and my studs snap some bloke's leg in half, I'm being red carded, and rightly so. So for me, I think Spurs were really hard done by. But I must give a nod to Kinski and his save at the end when I can't believe. I mean, it was so rapid. Yeah, I didn't even think he'd got a touch on it until I saw the replay, and he moved his hand towards it, and I was annoyed because I wanted Raya's save against Fernandes to be the best save of the month, weekend, or whatever it is. We're welcoming Chris. Hello, sir.
Do you think anyone noticed?
What? Oh, they have now. Sorry.
I snuck in. Yeah, sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. Just family stuff. Here I am. Carry on, as you are.
Okay, Chris, I'll throw a little question at you. Name your midfield 3, just your midfield 3 for the Burnley game.
Mine or Arteta's?
No, well, if they're different, both perhaps.
Well, mine would be Rice with Eze and Ødegaard in front of him.
That's what I offered. I offered that as a suggestion as well. Yeah.
I wonder if Arteta will start slightly more conservatively with MLS. As a kind of Eze or Ødegaard alternative.
Okay, so then do you start with Ødegaard? If you start with Ødegaard, do you move Eze to the left and bench Trossard, who's been really good? Or do you keep Trossard and put Eze on the bench for...
Sorry, say that again?
So if you start Ødegaard, what happens to... So is Ødegaard...
They're your 3.
If you start MLS, your second thing, if you start MLS and Rice... Mm-hmm. And then you play either if you start with Ødegaard there.
Yeah.
So does Eze go to the bench or does Trossard go to the bench?
So that's the knock on, isn't it? Really, yeah. You either bench Eze or you play him from the start in the left wing berth, if you like.
What would you do?
What would I do? Oh, I'm probably more likely to go with with Eze starting.
Chris, Steph, what would you do in that situation? Eze or Trossard start?
I think Trossard's been too good there at the minute, so I'd keep him.
Yeah, I think Trossard is better in that position than Eze would ever be in that position. For 90 minutes. yeah, you might get the odd flash.
He's a moments man. That's the thing.
Which could result in a goal. But I think
I want him central for that.
Yeah, home to Burnley. Like for me, I would do Rice, Ødegaard, and Eze as well, and keep Trossard on the left. But Steph made the point. It might depend on whether Calafiori is starting or not, because he's 50-50, or I don't know what the numbers are. But
is he though?
He said again in the press conference yesterday that Calafiori's a doubt. Now that might be him doubling down on hooking him at half time.
Yeah. But he trained apparently, so
okay. And there's another 3 days before. But it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Calafiori's been injured twice in the warm up this season, so it wouldn't surprise me if he did, cry foul to an injury at half time in that game. But
so what's the general mood in terms of where we left off? We were all feeling, I think, more bullish, and as the week's gone on, for me certainly, I'm feeling slightly more. City are like the turd that won't flush.
Well, I think that's important. I think that will be used to focus the mind. I think that's important. Like City's message is, we're not going away.
But before you joined us, Chris, Holly's been revealing a lot of his psychology, and I think not having a midweek game has not been good for his
mental health
with how this might play out.
I've mapped out a series of games whose outcomes will lead into Monday and Tuesday. And I say Tuesday because of the City game. But the first game that needed to go my way is now not going my way. Aston Villa are leading Liverpool 2-1 with half an hour, 25 minutes to go. Need a draw or a Liverpool win in that game. And Liverpool should be motivated because Liverpool are in trouble if Bournemouth pick up a couple of wins, because this will put Villa above Liverpool by 3 points. But anyway.
So it will motivate Bournemouth to be even more on it when they play on Tuesday. Yeah,
but I'm thinking ahead to Villa on the last game of the season as well. I want Villa to drop points here, lose the Europa League final, so they've got to go to... I want Bournemouth to get points, or Brighton, one of the two can still catch Villa. I want them to have to go to the Etihad for at least a draw. That's something on it for them, because I worry that they will just roll over and concede. If they've won the Europa League, he'll play a complete second string. He's done it before in a title bid race with us as well, hasn't he, Emery? He's done that. I can't remember what game it was, but he played I think it was probably at Man City as well. It might have been Liverpool.
It was Man City. In that run a couple of seasons ago, when we were almost flawless at the end of the season, our one blemish was at home to Villa, and the week before they'd rotated heavily against Man City.
Emery just doesn't like us because of how he perceived his treatment.
See, as the week's gone on, all I just keep coming back to, and I've done all these permutations as well, I just keep thinking just win.
Just win.
Let's get this first hurdle over and then see where we're at, because you can drive yourself mad thinking of all the permutations and who's got something to play for and whatever. It's in our hands completely. Let's just win this one and then...
Let's just win this one 6-0.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I just think that a +5, because City have a goal up on us, a +5 might allow us to draw the game, but I'm not even sure it would, because if City know they've got to score 5 goals against Villa, then...
they're capable of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's, let's not drive ourselves too mad with the... Got to get past Burnley. That's my... focus, otherwise I am going mad.
Are you going to the game?
Yeah.
Okay, we're all there. I've cancelled tutor sessions. I ate missing this one. Oh, sod it.
Fair play.
I've been honest with all my parents.
And the club are laying on the same.
They're doing the bus treatment.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant. Because the players were really impacted by it positively, and also. This is a bigger game than Atletico Madrid, potentially.
Yeah.
Like, it's the last home game of the season. Give the fans an opportunity to let the players know how much we appreciate everything that they've done this season, but also where they've got themselves, in spite of like crippling injuries in the forward line. We know we haven't had our strongest 11 available at any point this season, and certainly not on form either. And it's good. Like the next time we see the players around the Emirates Stadium, they might be on another kind of bus. Sorry.
Too early.
Too early.
My
Sorry,
T-shirt says. You've gone too early there. Premature celebration is what they call that.
I suffer from this. No amount of pills helps. It's like I can't help it. I catch myself thinking of manifesting. I call it manifesting, if I'm allowed to say that. Chris, other question I asked Steph was, do you think football is now becoming all about big VAR moments as opposed to big goal moments or big footballing moments?
It's a big one, that is. That's a biggie. I was listening in the car on the way to picking my girls up about how we would cope without VAR. Can you imagine a world without VAR now? How the refs have become so dependent, the officials have become so dependent that they're almost deferring decisions.
They're not making decisions,
to VAR. Has it become about those moments?
Well, think about it. Okay, Steph in the ground, his big moment against West Ham was the Trossard goal. But I would suggest that for everybody watching, the bigger moment was the VAR, especially the neutral.
Well, in the case of creating drama and spectacle, then VAR is, if you write a script about how a football match goes, then you want VAR in there because it creates that drama and that tension. When you're in the ground, it's the most awful thing to have to endure. And that, we all know it well. We've scored and we're sort of almost folding our arms. Well, can we celebrate? Because that was a marginal offside call or whatever. So it's definitely taken something away, but like AI now, we're leaning into it more and more, and if we take it away, what gives,
Well, we're struggling to win the league at the moment.
Yeah,
if that, because you can't blame the referee for not giving that foul at the weekend in our game because there was so much going on. I'm like, well, did you see a foul on the keeper? I didn't see a foul on the keeper the first time I saw it. In fact, when I saw a couple of replays, I was thinking, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. But then you saw certain angles and it's like, okay, that's a nailed on foul. But, it took VAR. VAR did its job and it got far more criticism from people than... Villa have just gone 3-1 up. Far more. I'm turning that off now. Go away. VR got far more criticism for getting a correct decision than getting the Bernardo Silva rugby tackle against Everton wrong, which, as I said, could have a far more materialistic impact on the destination of the title. But anyway, another one of my questions, and I haven't posed this to Steph yet, is considering the season we've had, I haven't gotten to answer it yet, but considering the season we've had and the traumas we've endured in multiple games this season. You referenced the Sunderland game, but even we'd forgotten about the Wolves at home where we 2 own goals, and the Wolves away game, the Brentford away game, the Newcastle away game, Gabriel winner in the 97th minute or whatever it was. We've had some real, and that's not the Chelsea home game last 10-15 minutes, the Newcastle game last 10-15 minutes, the Brighton away game, West Ham, the cherry on the whatever of traumatic experiences watching the West Ham game. So my question is, what fresh hell do you think awaits us in the next 2 games? And I want you to think, well, what could it be? I mean, we can all see it.
Well, is it going to be, it probably is worse falling at the last hurdle. You overcome Burnley and then you're drawing, or God forbid, even trailing to Crystal Palace. I mean, that would be a absolute killer.
So we beat Burnley narrowly.
Because then the belief builds even more.
City beat Bournemouth. They're all of a sudden the favourable fixture list is with them rather than us, but we've still got it in our hands. So the hope is still real. We haven't had time to prepare ourselves for the worst because we still think just win. Palace are thinking ahead to the conference final.
You see, I am trying to do this just win one game at a time thing, and you keep dragging me back to this place of what if?
And we go 1-0 down and City are 2-0 up. And we're thinking, we need to score 2 goals now. And it's the 88th minute.
Yeah.
And the board goes up. And there's 11 minutes stoppage time. 4 minutes at City, because they'll be finished.
Like maybe flip this and discuss the best case scenario instead, just to give people a bit more.
We
copium.
beat Burnley 6-0 and we're 3-0 up at half time against Palace.
There was a debate about would it diminish the achievement and the celebration and the euphoria?
No.
Let me finish so that everyone listening, you know what I'm going to say, but just for the people listening. Is that we beat Burnley by whatever score, and then City get held by Bournemouth, or even better, get beat. And the fact that we're not in a stadium to celebrate it, for me, hand up, I could not give a toss.
Absolutely not.
I'm running round the garden, several times,
hugging gnomes,
probably naked.
I was going to offer a far more palatable image than that. I'm hopping on the train into Finsbury Park and
that too.
But
I bring the gnome with me. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh no, and again, I said earlier on that when we had the 5-game shootout, looking for where the drop points might fall. For City, it was Bournemouth away. That was the game. Not Everton away, but Bournemouth away was the game I thought. And Bournemouth are incentivised. They will be motivated, and it's a difficult place. And we were the last game they lost there is against us. I think so. I this might be completely wrong, but they've got the longest unbeaten home. No, who's beaten City? Home. No, that's wrong. That's got to be wrong. City haven't lost at home to anyone, have they? Since Christmas,
Okay, no, probably not.
No. So anyway, it's going to be a tough place to go. So that's where I'm like, oh my God, I want it to be a party at the Palace on the 24th.
Yeah, no pressure. Yeah,
because the trophy will be. Sorry, if that scenario, then the trophy will be at Palace.
Yeah,
and I'm there for that. Like happy out. I do not want to be going into that last game having to win. I mean, great, fine, you take it, but I will not sleep the night before. Because I won't be thinking at that point. I won't be thinking of us winning. I'll be thinking of all the ways it can go wrong for us. That's what I'll be thinking, because it will be a little bit of self-preservation. Steph's going to predict a 1-1 draw. Possibly.
We shall see, won't we?
We shall see, indeed. Okay, my last question. This was like a quiz question. So, Chris, can you name the 3 Premier League, the 3 players who've represented both Burnley and Arsenal in the Premier League era? Now, I did follow that up straight away by saying you won't know 2 of them. But the reason I'm asking the question is because of the other person, which I'd forgotten completely.
Ian Wright?
Ian Wright.
It is Ian Wright. I missed that completely. He did play 15 times for them. I think he scored 4 goals for Burnley in 99, 2000. The other 2 players, you'll recognise one of them. Sorry?
Is one of them one of the Hoyts?
No.
No? Okay.
The first one is Paul Shaw. He played... it was between 94 and 96, and he played 12 times for us and 9 times for them.
Would it be someone like Scott Marshall?
Mark Randall.
Okay. Oh, we've heard of him.
I'd heard
player
of him.
name I can sort of vaguely remember. Yeah.
They're the other 2, but Ian Wright was the one that jumped out. I had no idea. I've misremembered it or forgotten it. like, completely. He liked the old claret and blues at West Ham as well, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Okay, so look, they're my little questions. So now on to the nitty gritty of your team selections and score predictions for Monday. Steph, what's your starting lineup?
Raya in goal. Back four, Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel in Capier. If Calafiori's fit, I'd like to see him play. Gives us a bit more of a thing to think about in attack. Midfield three, I said earlier, Eze, Rice, Lewis Skelly. Front three, again, assuming Saka might not make it or at least needs to be looked after, Madueke, Gyökeres, Trossard.
Chris?
I've got a feeling Calafiori's going to make it, so I'll put him in for the hell of it. So, yeah, Raya. The right back, it's going to be Mosquera, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I just wondered if he might try Nkapie there, just given that he's such a solid left back, that you've got the roaming Calafiori and a more kind of conventional fullback on the other side. But I think it will be Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, and then the midfield three, I think, is as is from the previous games, subject to change, but during the game. But it will be starter of Rice, Lewis Skelly, Ødegaard, and then I think he will start Trossard, Gyökeres. I'd like to see Saka start, but I mean, he looked so sore, didn't he? Yeah, I think I'm with you, Steph. I think he'll start Madueke.
Yeah, Fulham Saka, brilliant. West Ham Saka, not brilliant. Okay, so I've gone for Raya in goal. I've gone for Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel. I have written down Nkapie, but if Calafiori's fit, he plays. I've gone for Rice, Ødegaard and Eze. Again, injury. But I think Ødegaard's cameo against West Ham, I think he'll definitely start. It's just where he starts. So he might start further forward than Lewis Skelly. And listen, if I see the starting lineup with Rice, Lewis Skelly and Ødegaard, fine. Not a problem with that. I think that's sufficiently offensive for a home game against Burnley. And my front three, I still want Saka to start 8 days. I think, hopefully that's long enough for him to have recovered a little bit. So Saka, Gyökeres and Trossard, I think, has been superb on the left. Does mean we've got a hell of a strong bench. Again, like really strong. To rest players, but, hopefully not to get us back into the game or to clinch a late goal. Oh, no. Go on then, Steph. Score prediction.
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1?
Name the Burnley attack.
Own goal, Arsenal.
Chris?
I'm actually going to be conservative with it because I just feel like we're not going to get the big. Yeah, I just feel like we're not going to get the big cricket score that we want. I just think it's going to be more modest than that. I'm going 2-0.
Okay, well, I've gone 3-0. So I don't think Burnley will score. But hey, it's unusual for me to back a clean sheet. Watch the one time I do back a clean sheet, we won't get one. Anyway, so 3-0, I say. Right, have you guys got anything else to...
Have you talked about the kit?
No, new home shirt has launched today for next season.
I haven't looked at it, to be fair. What do you think?
I think you should.
I think it's...
Is that leading?
I'm a bit meh about it.
I think that's
I'm more than meh.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I don't like it at all.
Oh, you don't like it at all? Okay.
No, I think the cuffs and the
the
collar spoil it completely. It's just weird. It's this ruched kind of collar business in burgundy. What I don't like as well, and we've got it on our badge, is the two slightly different colours of red. I just like blanket colours. I don't like this sort of slightly mismatching burgundy next to red. It just doesn't go in the sort of colour wheel of artists. If you look at where red is next to burgundy, they don't go. They're not complementary colours. But it's obviously a branding thing that they've gone, we want this slightly more richer kind of red, but I just don't like it at all. I think they'll probably have more of a success with the away kit because they've got license to be a bit more funky with it, you know.
From the ones I've seen leaked, there's a kind. They're all a bit plain, if I'm going to use that word correctly.
Plain can be good.
One yellow, one blue-ish with some yellow trim on it.
Okay.
That one is the one I prefer of all the ones I've seen. But
This is all good news because instead of paying money for the Arsenal shirts, people can watch out for our kind of looming, that sounds a bit ominous, merchandise line ourselves, and Steph is sporting one of our early creations. Too early. Those of you who've listened to us for a while will know that that's one of our slogans, in particular Chris. No matter when, Arsenal don't score that many goals in the first 10, 15 minutes, but if we do, it's normally goals against Man City.
Yeah.
No matter what minute the goal is scored in, it's like
if an
too
opposition
early.
score, no, it's too early. Man City got time to get back. Yeah, too early.
These guys are great at creating designs. I have no hand in this whatsoever, and they're great. But we will hopefully be sporting more examples in future pods. But anyway, so listen, if the Arsenal home shirt isn't your fancy, watch this space.
Nice.
Anything else?
There you go.
That's
Join
where
our
I flash
Patreon.
up a picture, is it? In the edit, yeah. Watch this space.
Or put like a shameless plug. Just put a plug there for that. Anything else in the Arsenal world?
Not in the Arsenal. I mean, goodbye to Beth Mead.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
And
yeah.
Katie McCabe has been announced as well. What great servants to Arsenal. Champions League winners. Amazing.
Yeah, they had their fond farewells.
There's quite a few
At
other
the
players
weekend.
going as well that I can't bring to name now. So there's going to be a lot of change at Arsenal, who look like they should finish second in the league and got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. So they're being consistent, but yeah, just need to punch through a little bit maybe, and especially in the league. Chelsea are a bit of a force at the moment, so it'll be interesting next year.
Cool. All right. Okay, well, listen, we're all going to the Burnley game. We'll still manage to throw out an instant reaction at some point, but there might be another instant reaction 24 hours later, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Okay. If there isn't any requirement for an instant reaction on Tuesday, we will be back on probably Tuesday or Wednesday with a proper review of the Burnley game, and then oh God.
Last game of the season.
I feel ill.
I came here to feel better.
Sorry.
You need a different host for that, I think.
Yeah, I'm the positive one. Thank you very much.
Well, this is it. I know. Crazy.
It's like, it is mental gymnastics. It really is, and I'm exhausted because I was never very good at gymnastics, so it's not for me. But anyway, right. Listen, let's stop. Let's get on with our lives over the next couple of days. Forget about football, and we'll meet up outside Block 6-7 with. Hang on.
A song in our hearts.
We'll be. Come if anyone's kicking rounds. We'll be outside in the concourse outside Block 6. I don't know, maybe 30, 40 minutes before kickoff. So come and say hello. But if not, bring the noise. And we have to. Oh God, Villa are 4-1 up against Liverpool.
Well, it's always good to see Liverpool getting humped, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is, yeah, it is. But I wanted Villa motivated in their last game, and now that's not happening. But anyway, doesn't matter because we're going to win comfortably. 2-3-0 wins. That's it. What was
Fingers
the
crossed.
fuss? What was the fuss? All right, on that. Cheerio. Be good. Bye.
See ya.
The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app, and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.